G'day, guys, and welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for being here. A bit of a late notice, and let me just get a bit organised here. And if you like what we do, you can give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down, whatever which way you want to go. It all helps. And I hope everyone's having a good night. And we might try this tonight. We're going to have some chat overlay. We've put the invite out if anyone wants to come up. Usual suspects might turn up. They might not either. It's totally up to them, especially just being an off-the-cuff thing. And last night didn't make it on G's live stream. I was lurking in the background for a while, and and then consequently fell asleep, which is my usual trick. But I didn't do it on screen this time. It was just me. So, and then I woke up and fell asleep. So, and as some of you may have seen in the little group chat before earlier today, that we had a house removed across the road, and the wife and I slept right through it, even with two very large trucks, and guys working and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we were pretty tired. We've been, as I've talked about before, we're doing some renovations, so we've got a bit going on. We're doing some demolition work. Sorry about that. Let's take that away, and we'll go full screen for me because you want to see all of me. Got my little background going. G was doing a pretty good show last night, and I think we should maybe show a video about an interest of mine, which you all know about the UFO subject, especially who the sort of people who's looking into it, who's researching it. So I'll get that organised and wait for a few more people to roll in. If anyone else is going to join us, they may not. And where is it? So this guy, the guy I'm about to show you. Okay. Let's find him. Jesse Michaels. Now, some of you may or may not have heard of him. He's a bit of a rich dude, and he's done this video with a gentleman called David Grush, who is a whistleblower on the UFO subject. And this goes for about 14 minutes, so I will just pause that and go back. As you can see, I'm an absolute professional at what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing apparently. And let's get rid of that one. Yep, let's get rid of that one, and I'll share this screen, and you guys can watch this. And if you want to see more, there's a link at the end of this show. You can just search Jesse Michaels, David Grush. I'll put a link in the chat so everyone can go and watch it. So I'll get my ugly mug out of the way. So why isn't that coming up? Because I'm a big head. There we go. And we're going to go full screen on this one. So enjoy, and you might learn a bit.
A couple of months ago, I released a video with my friend and former intelligence officer David Grush.
Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Who blew the cover on a covert, multi-decade-long UFO crash retrieval and reverse engineering program being funded by American taxpayer dollars.
We're done with the cover-up, and we're going to get to the bottom of it, dadgummit.
Grush isn't just some random guy. He's an Afghanistan combat veteran, a former 14-year senior intel officer with top-secret compartmentalized clearance. He handled presidential daily briefings, he's extremely polymathic, and he's very well regarded by almost all of his former colleagues.
I am for real.
Finally, and perhaps most importantly, he's not alone. He's brought 40 people who have handled exotic UFO material firsthand to the intelligence community's Inspector General.
Has this made you realize that we are not alone?
I knew it before. I didn't need this.
And he testified about his findings under oath in front of Congress this summer. So a lie here would completely tank his career and get him a lot of jail time.
Either you're going to jail, which I don't think you are based on my, getting to know you as a
Yeah,
friend over
for
the
sure,
last 2
yeah,
years. That's
yeah.
just not the vibe I get in my assessment of you.
We're facing an inflection point in history.
No more than 10 to 20 million killed, tops.
As more prosaic political forces are sleepwalking us into World War III, and the Middle East has turned into a tinderbox, I've often asked myself about whether UFOs should be taking up space in anybody's heads.
You know what the most common type of alien is? Light.
But when I have those thoughts, I go back to my fundamental belief that these flying objects are just a sliver of a larger, bizarre yet magical worldview. They represent a revolution in our everyday belief, perceptions, and epistemology, not just some technology that Deep Black Aerospace can try to reverse engineer. And so if UFOs have implications for science, religion, technology, history, and maybe even the nature of humanity, studying them could just be the Hail Mary we need for the resource-constrained, multipolar nuclear world we're in.
There's something profoundly important going on here that is authentic and real.
While I was overwhelmed by the public response to my documentary with Grush, the mainstream media coverage has been pathetic, to put it very generously. The one big outlet to cover our documentary was the Washington Post. They clearly didn't watch the video. They contended with none of the substantive points we made, and instead dismissed us as intellectual frat guys.
Hey!
So I've decided to summarize the most important points from our documentary and do a little hand-holding for them.
All right, explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old, okay? Because there's an element to this thing I just cannot get through my thick head.
Number 1. Why do UFOs consistently show up around nuclear sites? UFOs and Nukes is a book by Robert Hastings, who is the son of a special weapons officer at Malmstrom Nuclear Base in Montana. Hastings worked there as a janitor in high school in the 60s. One night, an FAA supervisor casually mentioned to him that he was tracking 5 unknowns on his scopes and called young Hastings over to his desk to check them out. Thus began a lifelong journey for Hastings, interviewing 167 US military sources, former or retired ICBM launch officers, missile maintenance, security, and radar operators. Given the nature of their jobs, monitoring our nuclear sites, they have to be the epitome of mental health.
Well, no, the missileers, they're on what they call PRP, Personal Reliability Program. Like, they have to, report if they're, taking ibuprofen, for God's sakes, because, they're a key turner for nuclear weapons.
And no one applies for that line of work to be famous. The book is 580 pages, and it's incredibly dry and hard-headed. Read it, and then tell me you think UFOs are just a psyop.
I can't tell you enough about this product. I hit 2 hours. Sure is hooked, to say the least.
All right, so obviously when we're playing this, we're going to incur a few ads, and that's not the one. That's the one I want. So I might just stop it every so often and just have a bit of a break and a rundown on what's happening. I like this guy. I'm here, Roger. This guy, I like this guy because he doesn't do videos every day. He does videos every so often, and he's a very smart, well-educated person, and he's looked into a lot of stuff. And as you'll see further into this piece, he uncovers, or he doesn't uncover. He has uncovered various connections to anti-gravity back in the 1950s at the height of things. So we'll go back to the video.
Number 2, nuclear secrecy as a Trojan horse for UFO secrecy.
Not only is there a nuclear connection from UAP activity, there's a nuclear connection in terms of U.S. government equities and how they protected the program through nuclear provisions.
In our documentary, Grush shows that the language of the 1954 Atomic Energy Act, which defines which materials are subject to nuclear secrecy, was written in a sneaky but deliberate way to protect our UFO secrets too.
So it's kind of a sneaky way of...
No, it is. If you actually read the Atomic Energy Act, if something is not a nuke, but it has radiological energy coming off it, you know, alpha, beta decay, whatever.
Same secrecy.
Same secrecy.
Legendary UFO researcher Jacques Vallée also says that the Department of Energy and the Manhattan Project clearance system is the most applicable to UFOs, not the clearances that roll up to the executive branch.
The Manhattan Project would have custody of it, and then it would go into the Atomic Energy Commission, and then it would go into the Department of Energy, which has its own line of clearances. And that's why I can't find among the people I know who have clearances above top secret, they've never heard of this.
Yeah.
They've never heard of this because you can be in the Pentagon with a top secret clearance, but if you're not briefed on the atomic secrets, you wouldn't get the clearances that you needed to do to open up that thing.
This would make sense, as a lot of UFO appearances, and likely most of the crashes, seem to take place around nuclear sites. Grush even told me in a car ride in DC that the Manhattan Project was basically the original UFO program.
Manhattan Project, they were kind of the first blue book. You know, they were getting UFO reports back in the day. There's some people I'm colleagues with that, like, their grandparents were actually, you know, the UFO report people on the Manhattan Project.
So just how deeply intertwined are UFO secrets with the atomic programs? Number 3, we're past public-facing UFO debunkers, just atomic insiders who were involved in UFO reverse engineering programs all along. One of Oppenheimer's close friends and colleagues was a quantum physicist named Edward Condon. Condon did more damage to the public perception of UFOs mid-century than maybe any other academic scientist. Condon and Oppenheimer go way back. They studied together under Max Born at Göttingen in the 20s. Condon then helped pick Los Alamos as the location for the Manhattan Project, even writing the Los Alamos Primer, a document that all employees had to read upon arrival. After leaving the Manhattan Project, Condon even helped draft the McMahon Atomic Secrecy Act of '46, which was the Atomic Energy Act of '54's predecessor. So clearly the guy was clued into atomic secrets. Again, the Atomic Energy Act of '54 is what Grush is saying governs UFO secrets. So clearly Condon was an atomic insider, and if the atomic programs had anything to do with UFOs, he probably knew a thing or two about UFOs as well. Now the public-facing story is that Condon clashed with General Leslie Groves over just how extreme the atomic secrecy was at the start of the Manhattan Project. In the 50s, Condon then loses his clearance, like Oppenheimer, over communist sympathies. He then goes on to work on civilian science outreach initiatives. Then randomly, he pops back up in 1966, and his clearance is mysteriously restored. He's then placed on a panel, which deals a death blow to UFO research, claiming it's all a waste of time and money. Why would an open-minded scientist, committed to civilian outreach, be so dogmatically opposed to UFOs? Well, maybe he was blackmailed. You see, while being investigated for communist sympathies in the 50s, a dossier of field reports was being created on him in the background by an FBI field agent named Guy Hoddle. Hoddle is now famous for his 1952 Hoddle Memo, the most read document on the FBI's website. It describes an Air Force officer writing to Hoddle about a crashed UFO with an alien crew inside of it. So Hoddle definitely knew about UFOs. Was he just building blackmail on Condon and forcing him into becoming a UFO debunker? Remember, Condon wrote the McMahon Secrecy Act of 1946, which basically went on to govern UFO secrecy if you believe David Grush.
The McMahon Act of 46, which was the predecessor to the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, the guys that were involved in Manhattan were overlaying the same ecosystem of secrecy and some of the same ways to protect stuff that they were protecting our nuclear secrets.
Number 4. Who is Townsend Brown? This mysterious anti-gravity inventor has traditionally been dismissed by mainstream scientists and academics as a kooky amateur that never got anywhere. He built these gravitators that look a lot like flying saucers, and a lot of his work was likely classified by the Navy. But in 1942, the Navy fires him without cause, and mysteriously he shows up at Martin Vega Corporation a year before Skunk Works is formed. Skunk Works was created to house Lockheed Martin's most secret advanced aircraft projects. And notably, their response to Grush's testimony was pretty telling. They said questions about UAPs are best answered by the federal government. That's not a flat-out rejection of the premise that they might have UFOs in their possession. But back to Townsend Brown. Detractors say that he's associated with crazy things like the Philadelphia experiment, a clearly bogus disinfo campaign that involves teleporting a ship with the crew inside from Philadelphia to a port in Norfolk, Virginia. But through an amazing biography of Townsend Brown called The Man Who Mastered Gravity by Paul Shatskin, we find out that Brown intentionally created a lot of disinformation about his work to protect it. He showed people his fluid dielectric system that used ionic wind instead of the solid dielectric gravitator. We now even know that the B-2 stealth bomber uses Brown's electrogravitics. So we do have evidence that Townsend Brown's work did make it into deep black aerospace. He wasn't just a failed hack. And lest you might be thinking, okay, so he built some anti-gravity tech, and that's just the UFOs we're seeing now, nothing otherworldly, just Brown's inventions. He talked constantly behind closed doors and with family members about UFOs. He even formed the National Investigations Committee on Aerial Phenomena, or NICAP for short, the first civilian UFO study group. Number 5. What was going on at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio? It's where the Roswell crash materials were reportedly taken. It becomes an anti-gravity research center in the 50s, and when civilian politicians would inquire about it, they'd consistently get shut down.
I called Curtis LeMay and I said, General, I know we have a room at Wright-Patterson where you put all this secret stuff. Could I go in there? I've never heard him get mad, but he got madder than hell at me, cussed me out, said, don't ever ask me that question.
Step into Wix Studio, the web creation platform built for agencies. Throughout.
Right, let's get rid of this. Right, sorry guys, of course we've got to deal with the ads. As mentioned before, Mick and G, when you're ready, is in after this. I'll bring you in now, G. Mick will come back. G'day, G. How you doing? Thanks for being here, man.
No worries at all. What's going on?
Mate, I just thought I'd play this little this thing that I've been playing from Jesse Michaels. He's a guy in the US that he's well off. He's well off, well connected, and he's been going down the rabbit hole of the UFO situation. And he did about a month or two back now, he did an in-depth sort of talk with David Grush. Now, David Grush is a former intelligence officer of the Department of Defense, highly decorated. and prepared presidential briefings, in the White House. And he came out and testified recently that the US has crashed UFOs or recovered UFOs. So this is just a short recap of the documentary he did.
Okay.
Just get rid of that. Just hang on. Yeah. So it's just putting pieces together that he's found, and the information that's out there. Like a lot of things, we forget about different things, and when you stitch it all together, it does paint a picture. And that's I've linked the full interview in the chat description if anyone wants to go and have a look at it, or you just search Jesse Michaels. Chicken tacos. Okay, so that's making me hungry, Becky. But
Even
already had,
hungry.
yeah. Already had steak and veggies, and yeah, so it was a good meal tonight. And but anyway, we'll go back to this. We've only got about 3 minutes left, about 4 minutes, so we'll finish this off, and hopefully people are finding it interesting. So I'll just share this back on, and I'll get us out of the way.
Did UFOs have anything to do with JFK? Number 6. Did UFOs have anything to do with JFK's death? In 2006, a document was supposedly released under the Freedom of Information Act, showing JFK asking for more information on unknowns in space, and it was written to CIA Director John McCone. The letter is dated November 12, 1963, just 10 days before JFK's death. Is this document real? Can somebody please verify or falsify it? Another CIA operative, a guy named E. Howard Hunt, also claimed that JFK's death had to do partially with his inquiries into UFOs. Okay, that's the list. Now have at it. Or maybe Congress can get its act together long enough to just get Dave Grush his clearance back so we can get him into a SCIF and he can give them all the information they need on UFOs.
We were denied access to the SCIF, James Bond stuff. You leave your phone, your Fitbit.
The final thing I'll say is just in response to all of the very smart people out there that think that this is just a PSYOP. If this was all just a PSYOP, you'd think we'd have just one leaked document talking about fully faking UFO threats or fabricating UFOs in their entirety. You do have letters like the one by CIA Director Walter B. Smith in 1953 saying that we should use the phenomena for psychological warfare against the Soviets. You have similar leaked letters from Allen Dulles. But in all of these cases, these high-ranking members of intelligence are saying let's use this real phenomena that exists for our own geopolitical purposes. They're not saying let's just wholesale fabricate the existence of these things. But please, it would be awesome if anybody found a document that provides any evidence about some grand UFO conspiracy. I'd personally love it. I could move to Hawaii, surf all day, and stop making these videos. As the great Carl Sagan said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But I actually think that's completely misapplied to the UFO question. We have tons of open source evidence. Aerial sightings from average people, fighter pilots, nuclear security, politicians and military on both sides of the aisle. So instead I'll say, when extraordinary evidence is provided, extraordinary investigation is required. And right now the investigation on UFOs is downright embarrassing.
So there we have it. There we go. So I hope you found that interesting. It's definitely a topic worth discussing, and there is plenty of evidence out there. And we'll bring the mighty G back in and hit the right button. Yeah. Hello, G. How are you?
Looks like Cats with a Ghost at the moment. It's probably.
You do.
Looks like I'm shining, glowing.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Let's
join it from the other side.
Yeah. Let's. Maybe you're dead and you didn't know it.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's get a bit more up close and personal. Oh, there we go. How's it? Yeah. You got the light. You're about to cross over, are you? You got the light shining on you.
Yeah, I've been across they say don't go towards the light, don't they? So everyone has to come towards me.
Yeah. So we've got Roger. Oh, Roger. I haven't got any chips, mate. Sorry. That's not this channel. If you want a chip, you better go to a different channel, mate. I think there's actually several out there probably do the chip challenge, one chip challenge, and get their face all red and look like they're going to explode. I think I've seen that on a few channels, to tell you the truth. But welcome, everyone, if you just joined in recently. I was playing a video from a guy called Jesse Michaels. He is researching the UFO topic, or UAP as it's now known, unidentified aerial phenomena, or unidentified anomalous phenomena, or commonly known as UFO, unidentified flying object. They've changed the terminology to encompass all phenomena. Now, when I say they, I'm referring to the US government, because the Australian government and even the UK government will sit there and deny that anything's happening, and we've never seen reports and nobody's ever reported anything and all this sort of stuff. But behind closed doors, there's a lot going on. However, the US are the ones who always seem to be leading the way or researching it, and they have done for a long time. If you think about it, Roger enjoys just saying random stuff. Well, fair enough, Roger.
Yeah, I never do that at all.
No, if Roger enjoys that sort of thing, then yeah, good on him. So welcome everyone who's watching. We're almost 38 minutes in, and we're talking about the UFO subject, something I quite enjoy and watch on a regular basis, on a daily basis actually. There's a lot of information and talk out there about the UFO subject, or UAP, whatever you want to talk about, and it's a case of not looking at your phone all the time, or doing a bit of research. Yeah, no, it's all right. I wasn't referring to you, G. We all do it. we
I was not doing it.
Oh,
I was pretty much looking down at it at the time. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh well. For most of us, it's the way we communicate, the way we get our information these days, and I'm no exception. When I'm in my truck, I'm listening to podcasts about UFOs and various other topics. Roger, that's great. You enjoy it. It's great to have you here and have the support. I really do appreciate it. And where are we? I have no idea. I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, there we go. Come on. There we go. No, I do. Trust me, I do run a professional show here. Believe it or not. When I hit the right buttons, I'll have to get Dexter in here and see if he'll laugh at me for not pushing the right buttons. bit of an inside joke there, but Yeah, I still can't remember not doing it, or maybe he caught the last 4 seconds of it. But anyway, yeah, there's a mountain of books out there that people have written. Some of you may have seen, say, Ancient Aliens on the History Channel, talking about the connections to previous life here on Earth and how it's been depicted throughout the millennia or decades through art and other cave paintings. So there is a lot of information out there if you want to start diving into it and looking at it. What do you reckon, G? You think I'm on the right track, or I'm just some plonker, waffling on about absolutely nothing?
Oh, you're definitely some plonker waffling on about nothing, but that's what I love about you, But no, I mean we've discussed it in many different times, and there's just so much to. I guess when it comes to UFOs, it's meant to be sort of vehicle based, craft based, but then the question comes with that, what's behind that? Is it sort of men in black, little government spies going into cornfields for some reason and making silly patterns for some reason? What would the government need to do that for, or what else is going on? But when you were talking about sort of ancient art and stuff, we've gone into that a little bit before, and there's religious art that has little craft up in the sky that if you don't really, you sort of, when you look at art, you normally look at the main themes, and the background kind of gets a little bit lost, and that's kind of what typical art and stuff is. It has vocal points, but if you study or look at a piece long enough, you will see little bits and pieces. But also, what you were saying about cave paintings, it just sparked a little bit of a, I guess, a conversation or a sort of basically, if you look into different cultures, we have the Sumerians that spoke about the Anunnaki, and the Sumerian tablets have been, they basically have translated a lot of it, but there's still a few words and stuff. I mean, I haven't looked into this for a while, for quite a few years, but there's some that isn't able to be translated. It possibly could be now. But then we've got, Native Americans, the Indigenous Americans, we have the Indigenous of Australia, and they both spoke about sky people, or they had their various different names for them. I'm not too familiar with a lot of Aboriginal words, unfortunately, but I know they had their own words for it, and then we had our sort of version, like how they've, I guess, changed their words to more English versions of it, which tend to be like sky people, or and stuff like that. The same with native indigenous to America. Obviously they've got their own languages and stuff like that. But yeah, and then they've sort of translated what it would mean in our language from their language.
Yep.
But yeah, that's also why the Y files. Why I'm interested in sort of cryptids and stuff as well, because I've looked into like ETs and stuff like that for so long, and looking into that and looking into sort of not necessarily primitive, but like cultures that possibly have been in these lands longer than us, so they've been here longer than Caucasian people or whatever. We've came from our own parts of the world, and just even if you look into Chinese and some Asian cultures, they have sky chariots, they have dragons, and some people try to say, is that like a depiction of vehicles or something they couldn't explain? But who knows if they're, maybe there was dragons and chariots and stuff flying around once upon a time. Who really knows? I mean, you have as well Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology, and they try to say that it's, kind of just these stories that people tell their children is not necessarily based on facts. But I mean, who really knows, like, how much truth is to any of this? But I'd say, the previously mentioned indigenous cultures, I'd say that, they're well, uh, Aboriginals do have a lot of stories as well, like that they pass out. They have those sort of the dream stories type situation that they tell. They're young, so again, is that all real, or is it sort of a little bit of fun as well? But I guess that's what this sort of overall subject is about in a way. It's sort of taking all the information that you can find and sort of making your own opinion, really, in a way. But it is definitely interesting. And going back to the cryptid stuff I was talking about, just looking into like Native Americans made me interested in looking into other parts of their culture and stories they tell. So then they have the dog man, which is kind of, I guess, the werewolf. They had their own words for it. They have the Bigfoot, again, they have their own words for it. A lot of those cryptids have been, the names have changed over time, I guess, a little bit similar to Mark was saying. UFO as a word and as a topic has changed as well over time. And sometimes are those sometimes changed because it's trying to take a bit of the truth away from it? Who knows? Because like say werewolf in pop culture and movies, obviously that came from somewhere. And even if you look into vampires and other cryptids that are in films, there is some truth or some background to a lot of them. Again, how much is real and how much is sort of whatever. I mean, that's for you to find out for yourself. But I've definitely looked into some of that. I've heard some hunter stories about cryptid hunters, and I find it fascinating. But really, unless I've seen and been a part of it myself, I can't sort of 100% tell you that it's all real. But that being said, as well, the guy from Spaced Out Radio, when I was saying that he interviewed that cryptid he's a cryptid researcher from Australia. Creepers Cryptid, I believe, was his channel.
Yeah,
he was actually saying in that episode, the host was saying in that episode that he's actually been contacted by people to do paid work, and he didn't go into too much detail. I don't know if you've heard this on Spaced Out Radio, but he was saying he is going to become a part of a group that hunts cryptids. So instead of just researching, you hunt them. I guess you go and sort of whatever way of dealing with them, like actual sort of, I guess, angry or cryptids that are causing issues to people. So again, he might be just saying that to sort of get more ratings in, but he was a little bit cautious to tell the whole story. He did say he can share a little bit of information, but there's some obviously that he can't share. And he did say when he gets involved, he might tell some of those stories. So I've heard that on Swamp Dweller as well. He used to narrate stories by someone that said that he was a cryptid hunter. And I guess if anyone's ever seen that Supernatural show, they kind of hunt cryptids in that. And that's kind of what supposedly is out there, I guess kind of how Men in Black are meant to go around and, sort out certain situations when it comes to ETs or paranormal. And then there's sort of like cryptid hunters out there as well. But yeah, it's all interesting to look into, but it definitely gets the imagination and just it's fun and exciting to listen to. But unless I see a naked, hairy, ape-like creature running around, then I can't say for sure. I've seen some naked aliens, but I haven't seen, well, I guess I saw Roger with shirtless, so I'm halfway there. But yeah.
It's definitely something interesting to look into. And if we want to, take the word of our Indigenous persons or First Nations people, they've been talking about this sort of thing for a long time. And I'll just bring up a photo here of some artwork. I'll go full screen.
I reckon that was the one that crossed my mind when it.
Yeah, this is the Renaissance painting. So you see the mother looking down on the child or children. One's got a halo, but if you look in the background, and I'll zoom in on this one to make it a bit better, you can see, I won't go into, on a computer screen it looks much better. Over behind here, there's a guy on the side of a hill, supposedly looking up at a UFO, and beside him is his dog. Now, has the artist just painted this in because he wants to play a trick, or is this a proper representation of what they saw at the time? We don't know, and it's open to debate. And of course, we weren't there when this was done at the time, so you have to ask the question. And this is not the only photo or reference to a UFO. Some people say that Ezekiel's wheel that is talked about or written about in the Bible is a UFO. Now, the actual, that's what we call it. We call it a flying saucer because that's what it looks like, two saucers stuck together. And that terminology has been around since the late 40s, or is it the 50s? Late 40s. I've heard it talked about who the person was who coined the term flying saucer. But in other cultures, as you mentioned, they would have, at the time, given it their description based on their knowledge, so it could have been, could have been a flaming fireball in the sky or something like that, not necessarily what we call it.
Yeah, because sometimes if it's at night time, you're going to see it totally different. You're not necessarily going to see the actual object. You might just see the glowing of the light from inside or whatever. And also, they're not going to say flying saucers if they're eating their food off like a leaf or whatever. They're not going to have that comparison to go with. But yeah, also I was going to say with that painting that Mark just brought up, I reckon personally the most strangest part was the look on the donkey and the cow's faces. they looked a bit like, what's going on here?
I'll have to. I didn't. I'll have to have a look at that again. Because I missed that bit. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at our history. Hang on. There she is. So where's? Yeah.
Why is there a naked alien next to me?
Yeah. You got to wonder. I mean, surely to goodness, some of these artists at the time would have put things, in there for a reason. Is it for a joke?
Yeah.
Is it, what sense of humor did they have, so to speak? Or are the animals just looking on? Because that was the mode of transport in the day, was you had a donkey, and that was the common thing.
Yeah. And also there's a few different sort of themes in the one painting. It's like, was the first initial idea to put someone observing like a UFO, or, and maybe they didn't want, that to have too much attention. So they did all this other stuff, I guess even today it's frowned upon, or, people don't want to still openly talk about it. So, was that sort of put in the background, but they wanted to do that for a reason. So it wasn't the main vocal point, so they wouldn't get sort of laughed at or whatever. I mean, obviously I wasn't around back then. I don't know, but I'm just guessing that the fact that we haven't sort of developed that much from that point, in other words, we're still sort of, people still get laughed at and tinfoil hat and stuff if you're into that stuff. So, it just makes me feel like even back then, because if we go back into the first few encounters that were sort of mainstream, they was being covered up, and again, people were seen as crazy if they wanted to openly speak about them. So I'm just imagining back in those days when those paintings were, that timeline of people doing that sort of artwork. I'm sure again, people was being taken the piss out of, or just not sort of taken seriously. So maybe that's why it's in the background, and they're like, "Oh, I want to add this because maybe they saw it, maybe they had some experiences." So it's kind of like a nod to their experience, and they've sort of documented it in a way. But then they're like, "Oh yeah, naked angel kid," because that seemed to be pretty popular around that time. Angels and nudity and
Yeah, that was the in thing, especially if you're a peasant, you couldn't afford clothes, or you might have just wore a sack over yourself or something like that. It, back in the in the Olympics, it was not uncommon for the men, the Greco-Roman wrestling was done in the nude.
yeah, yeah.
That was just the way it was. So yeah, oh look, it really is interesting, and the more you go down the rabbit hole, the more you find. Now everyone's got their own take on it. Obviously, more there's a lot of serious research out there, and if someone says it's not happening, it is. There's quite a lot of people looking into it, and some really smart, educated people who are looking into the subject, trying to either work out what it is or where it is and all that sort of thing. There's just no bounds to it. Like in terms of books, UFO books, you can download or purchase numerous UFO books, UFO sighting books, accounts, personal accounts, people who have written books about being on the craft and even flown the craft. So, and then you've got a bunch of shows, TV shows. I mean, you got to look at Ancient Aliens. They're into their whatever season. And some people say they're stretching it a bit far, but they're still talking about the subject in whether they're right or if they're off the mark. But then there's people like Graham Hancock who's researched the subject. That's just one name, and there's other people who have been researching it for a long time. If you want to look at some of the work that George Knapp has done, now he's an investigative journalist out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and he's been doing this for 30 years, and you can find his talks online. When he first got into this, he thought he'd have it all sorted out in 6 months. 30 odd years later, and he's still nowhere. He's found out a lot of stuff. He's made a lot of connections, but he hasn't got the smoking gun, or maybe he has, and we just don't know about it. So yeah, it's just a subject I enjoy. Sometimes I watch too much of it, get a bit freaked out, and I change it. I watch one person and go, oh yeah, okay, and then I watch another person and go, oh yeah, they're right too, and it's all over the place. So it's just
I did used to like Jesse Ventura Conspiracy Theory as well, the TV show, and because he's like a governor, when he used to get into some subjects, she was sort of saying, it reminded me of that when you said, he fought in a year or whatever, that he would sort of have it all sort of worked out. But Jesse Ventura, he would have, his own government sort of clearances, but he would walk into the White House or wherever, and he would just sort of demand to be shown information, and they would just sort of like, no, we're not gonna allow that. Definitely a fun show that covered many topics, not just UFOs.
Sorry about that, G. I just had to get me earmuffs off, though, I was just starting to sweat in here like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, the old robot is.
Yeah. So I've got the AirPods in now, and something seems a bit strange with them. They just, I don't know whether they're not working properly or what, but every so often they make a funny noise. Maybe they just need a good clean or something like that. Yeah, he's just, is he still alive or is he retired
Yeah.
now?
I don't know what I don't know if he's just doing a podcast or something now, but he used to do quite a lot, you know. At one stage, he did used to sometimes talk to, because he had all these sort of, I guess, journalists or people that were in different areas, and he used to speak to a good old Alex Jones sometimes, but that was when Alex Jones was a little bit more reserved before he turned into like a cartoon character, basically.
Oh, yeah,
I feel
well,
like I did enjoy some stuff that Alex Jones would do, and again on Joe Rogan's podcast, as they've had a few good interviews and they let their hair down a bit. But I just feel like Alex Jones was just being extreme from just to get sort of more ratings after a while, and that happens to some people. They sort of, you know, start acting a bit of a plonker just to get more people watching and just to get their name out there. And then when that happens, they start, you know, the media definitely starts gunning for them more so than them actually having some proper information to share. Now, there's a young gentleman hiding in the background.
yeah. So we might bring him in.
Let's hear what he has to say about Alex Jones.
G'day, Mick. How are you? I think you're on mute there, Mick.
I'm guessing he's probably swearing at us.
Oh, he could be swearing at us too. He's probably talking. You know, maybe he's practicing his Italian.
Yeah. Now he is. His hand out.
Yeah, but he needs a glass of wine in the other hand. It all looks good on this end, Mick. Can you hear us? Yeah, you can hear us. Yeah, volume's up. There's nothing coming through, Mick. Just have a look at your settings. Just see where. See if you got your. If you start talking and it's not showing, it'll come up and tell you on screen whether you got your microphone on mute. You'll get. Yeah. Yeah, we can understand that. We don't need an interpreter. No, you can't work it out. Well, in the meantime, while Mick works on that, we'll keep blabbering away, and you know, it's all good here. Your signal strength's good. Yeah, you're unmuted this end. I'm not playing a trick on you.
Yeah, we should change his name while he doesn't know this.
Yeah, that's always a good one. The silent G.
Silent Bob.
Yeah, he's going, what the flaming fire truck's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
This is entertaining.
Not for Mick, but
he'll start getting frustrated soon. He'll throw something. Oh, that's a light, Mick.
Oh, there's a UFO. Oh,
his version of it.
The naked aliens are getting.
At least he's got his shirt on. Oh, what's Tito doing? It's Tito Can. Oh, look out, Mick. You've got an admirer. You're the Italian stallion.
I knew what he said then.
He can't work it out. He's shaking his head. It's like, I just don't know what I'm doing here. No, he's scratching his head. It's like, yeah, no idea. Go.
I'm pretty I'm pretty tech-savvy. Just turn it on and off.
Yeah, go out and come back in again, Mick. Yeah, I'm glad that he's joining in, but you must have
an nice to hear him swearing at us.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to go away from the UFO topic right now. We've been talking about that long enough. We decided to the wife and I, we decided to have a break tonight instead of, we've been working pretty hard, and we thought, we'll just have a break and, and get back into it tomorrow night. Plus we've had some rain up here today. So I plan to do a move tomorrow with one of my machines from up the shed, but that's not going to happen. It's too wet. So here's Mick back. How's that? What are you doing? Did you give permission to use a microphone? You've obviously done the camera. You need to give permission to use the microphone. No. Don't worry. AI's reading your lips, Mick. Just like in 2001. Hell?
I think you said I love AI. Yeah, I love AI.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I can't do that.
Mick's changed since the last time I spoke to him. He's saying he loves AI. Maybe.
Well, he's doing sign language, so we all need a bit of sign language. And we can wave and say hello and give the peace sign, like the Japanese do or whatever. There's other sign languages that we can use that maybe not suitable for this situation.
Not this one.
Yeah. Oh my God, let's turn the volume up. Come on, get it right.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah, right. What did you do?
Oh, it's this fucking stupid stream. Fuck you, marking your stream. Okay.
Oh, that's it. Nah, you're gone. You've outstayed your welcome now. See ya. See.
Don't be a sook. Okay.
Hey, at least I'm still a robbo. Hey, at least I'm still on screen.
Stop picking on Mark. Fuck's sake.
Roger, I think G could do the good stand up. What have you been doing, G? Mick G?
Mickey G?
Oh, I'm watching a series on TV and it's really interesting. Like, it's really good, but I paused it. It's called Bali 2002.
Right.
It's about the bombing
in
Bali, and it shows you it's fucking heavy. It's not a doco. It's like a series, like acting and stuff. But it's good, and they've got real footage as well as the acting and stuff. It's good. It's really good. The acting's pretty good actually. Aussie acting's actually pretty good these days, but gotten a lot better over the years. It's a million times better over the years, but it's good. It's a good series. There's only 4 episodes. I think they're long episodes.
Yeah,
4 or 5 episodes, and it's on Stan, and I'm watching it. I watched an episode last night, and I've just watched. I'm almost finished the 3rd episode now. Yeah. So all
Is
good.
that on Netflix or something? Or
No, Stan. I can't Chromecast my Netflix to my telly because I share my mum and dad's Netflix, and dad's got the cheap version of Netflix where it's quite cheap, and the only downfall of that, it's not really a major downfall, is you just got to watch an ad every now and then. Like whatever. It makes it cheaper. So he's got that, but because of that, I can share it, but I can't Chromecast it from my Chromecaster.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't have a smart TV.
Maybe you should just go and buy one.
No. I can't afford it. I need someone to buy one for me.
You should start a YouTube channel and get monetized, and that way people can send you money.
Yeah, 50 cents a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually watching some really old YouTube clips, and like really old, like before you guys were even, like Mark, you would have still been in your dad's nuts.
Yeah.
But some really old YouTube clips of him saying, "G'day guys, Robbo here." And he's like,
he was saying all the time.
Yeah, but he's like, I'm disabled and I'm on a pension and I got no money, and I would like you to donate to me so I can. I don't know. It was fucking. If you look back on YouTube stuff, like back in back in 2020 and 2019, you just fucking piss yourself. Like you actually like do a week.
So I guess nothing changed. We were trying to help him all the times we did, but yeah, it didn't change from 2019 by the sound of it.
I never go after money. I don't give money to nobody. I didn't even give money to myself. I'm that tight.
When people offer to give me money for stuff, like when it comes to YouTube and stuff, I'm quite reluctant to take it. Like I find it hard to accept it. But then people, sort of, say that I deserve it or whatever. But yeah, I just find it hard to take from other people, really.
Well, a shout out to Robbo. Hope he's watching and hope he learned something from this.
He won't be watching because we spoke about UFOs. This is one good way to get rid of him. Start talking about stuff that he doesn't know anything about.
Yeah.
Were you talking about UFOs?
I was talking about UFOs. Yep.
That's a strange thing. I never thought you'd ever talk about something like that.
Oh no.
I know. I was shocked. I was shocked as well.
It's not like you, Mark.
No, it's not like me because, oh, there we go. That might be better. Well, maybe like this. Oh my God, your head's so big. Jesus. He's keeping an eye on us. The eyeball.
I got the wandering eye. I got a really cool photo sent to me yesterday of me playing basketball last week.
I saw that on your profile. It looks really good.
It's cool. It's a good photo. I haven't had a basketball photo done in years. I haven't played in years.
You're just getting back into it, are you?
Yeah, I had a year off and I was playing for a little while back then, a year ago. And then I had a year off. And then, I still kick ass. I still play well. I mean, I played at a pretty high level when I was playing regularly. Fucking hell, Mark disappeared.
Yeah.
Fucked off. He's having a sook.
No, I'm not. I'm having a cry.
I thought so.
Having a sook's different. I'm having a cry.
Oh, he's crying. Yeah, I know. It's hard, man. It's hard talking to me.
No, it's not. It's easy.
Well,
we can say anything really, and it's just a good rapport.
The only thing I'm going to say is with my phone, you've got on this stream, you've got the word live there and then the time next to it.
Yep.
It's in front of your face.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. If I turn it,
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on like full screen, and I turn it this way. That's better.
Yeah.
But now I'm like looking at you properly because the
But
camera's over.
on
Yeah.
on YouTube, you don't see none of that. That's only in the studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm just because I'm just on my phone in the lounge room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not looking at you, but I am looking at you. But it looks like I'm not looking at you because the camera's on the side.
You know that I know that you know that, and G knows that we're looking at you.
That's right. That's exactly right. Tito, coming down here. He's sound asleep.
He says, like, no way. I'm just too tired. I'm not gonna join you on the ground here. I'm too comfortable.
I know. He's the only one that gets the lounge. It's fucked. It's my lounge, Tito. I fucking paid for it.
Yeah, Roger. I think Mick. I think you should do stand up, Mick.
I'd fall over.
Oh boy, I haven't.
G sent me a photo. I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, you didn't send me.
I can't.
Or did you send me?
I'll go out if I do, and I don't want to go out because it's hard not getting back in this motherfucker.
Oh, right. Link, where are you? What are we linking to? What are we linking to? We the missing link?
What do you mean link?
Oh, that was that message you sent before, Jim.
Yeah.
So maybe I should do these streams earlier.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock I'm fucking wrecked.
Yeah, well, it's 9 o'clock for me, so.
Oh, that's right. You fucking thing.
Hey, I've been going an hour and a quarter so far, so I'm doing all right. You need to go
3 hours, 5 days a week.
Yeah, 3 hours, 5 days a week, and then jump on TikTok and stare at people and maybe make funny noises or grunt or whatever.
And then wonder why women don't like me.
Look like a homeless guy.
Why am I still single? Why am I still single? Why am I still single? Because fucking a lot of people are.
Yeah,
that's true. Because you look like a dropped lollipop with hair over it. You know when you drop a lollipop on the carpet and it has all hair on it?
Oh my God. What do you say? Does Mick really look like that?
Yes, I do. Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, lollipop, lollipop.
Oh, don't sing, man. You'll get a copyright strike on me.
You'll get, what do you call it? The copyright warning.
I'm not even
allowed to.
I'm not monetized.
Did someone change my name? From now on, no one's allowed to change the name. You have to stick with the same one as you
start. Is that the rules? Is it? How can I?
Yeah.
No, where is it? I don't know how.
Are you able to do that on this? Edit name if you go into next to the connection.
So you know what I had to do?
Clunker 1, 2, and 3.
I couldn't come on here. So what I did was I copied your link when you sent it in the chat, Mark.
Mm.
And then I went on Google Chrome on my phone, pasted the link into the address bar, and come on that way, because when I try to go in through the chat, it won't let me do it for some fucking reason.
Yeah, okay. Probably because I didn't put I think the first link I sent out was just the YouTube link to watch.
No, I had to do that the other day too, but it's okay. Yeah. I don't. It's because it's just maybe just StreamYard. It's different. That whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah, man. Well,
all right.
So far, what I've been doing with this is it's all seemed to be working nicely. G has signed up with it as well. He's got the same plan as I have, the standard plan. Are you Have you done much more with it, G, or have you only just done the one stream?
I did the test one, and then I just did yesterday for 2.5 hours or whatever on it. But funny enough, speaking of StreamYard, I did get a hi. So thanks so much for your feedback. I'm so sorry to hear you get cancelled due to cost because you have to put a reason. So I just say cost, and they tried to extend our partner discount to you to help. And I'm pretty sure the discount they'd given is just if you buy it for the year, they you get it a little bit cheaper. I'm pretty sure they was just offer excuse me, they was offering that.
Well,
but yeah, you can't beat 50% off. I didn't end up replying. I mean, I probably will and just tell them that I used Restream because it was 50% off and cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily disrespect to them, but maybe it might just make them go, oh, maybe we should have done a Black Friday sale or whatever.
Yeah. But that's what happens. Some companies, maybe they get so big that they don't think they have to because everyone's using their product. You can tell when somebody's using StreamYard or a different platform. It's pretty easy to tell. I haven't got my logo up there. Why haven't I got my logo up there?
And they also did an offer, which I did see. They said there's this new plan, Essentials plan, and it's $10 or $96 for a year. And it's basically where is it? It's all the same features as the basic, but you do have to keep our branding. So I guess it's like the lower tier one, and then you have to have their watermark up there. So yeah, but either way, this was a lot cheaper. I found Restream to be almost exactly the same, but it did have a few more backgrounds and video, like the countdown timers, and so really you're just going to go where it's cheaper.
That's it.
Where's the backgrounds?
If you click on, you should have a button called Design. You should see that. No,
I'm not sure Nick can see that because he's not mod.
Yeah. So when you're in the studio, you can look at. They do a free version of this, and you can stream to 2 different channels on the free version. So and they basically you get to use all the stuff that we've been playing around with for a while on the free version.
What do you pay for this?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Oh, why is that?
Because they number one, they had a 50% off deal.
Okay.
And so they had a Black Friday deal, and I'm looking to do stuff in the future with the Steamroller, and this, when it works out, it's something like $14 a month, something like that. So it's cheaper than buying Guzman and Gomez, every second day.
Oh, fucking no way. I haven't had it actually for a little bit. I what I do tonight for dinner, I cooked yesterday and the night before. I cooked today. Tonight I ordered some Thai food. I had Thai barbecue beef meal, which is really healthy because it's all just barbecued and there's no rice. I just had vegetables with the beef.
Yep.
I'm not doing carbohydrates anymore for a long time.
So I lashed out and brought an air fryer today. It's an 8-litre one. All the others were just way too small, and I thought bigger is better. And we're going to give it a whirl probably tomorrow night and try a few things. So
air fryer's the best, man. That's all I use.
Yep.
I've got a different air fryer. I've got an air fryer oven, and it's also a dehydrator.
Yeah, right. So this one was just one from Big W for $140. So I thought, oh yeah, give it a go. See what happens.
The air fryers are the best.
Keeping you up, Mick.
Yes, fuck. It's selfish.
Why don't you go to bed?
No, because I want to watch the rest of this series. I've only got like 1 or 2 more episodes to go anyway.
Yep.
It's a short series, and I want to watch it because it's fucking good. It's heavy.
I've been smashing out The Walking Dead on season 9 now, and I don't know if I'm up to episode 6 or whatever.
Have you seen it all, or you're actually watching it?
No, I stopped basically when Negan first came into it.
Oh, how could you? That was the best.
I just was downloading the episodes and just I don't know if I had issues with my laptop. I reckon I don't know. I think the device I was working on had a virus, and so I wasn't able to download.
What's happening now in Walking Dead? What are you up to? What's actually happening?
So Rick died and got taken off into the helicopter. Now they jumped forward when so they had the bridge explosion. They had Judith now is like a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, G's frozen up.
Oh fuck, G.
Yeah, you're frozen, G. If you can hear us.
To in that new group.
I missed all that because hold on, you fucking froze and we lost you for about an hour.
Okay. Am I still frozen? Should I let it go or whatever they sing?
Let it go. Let it go.
Judith. They jumped forward. Judith Grimes is sort of almost a teenager now, or just older. She took in a group of people, and they're now taking that group of new people to Hilltop.
Judith Grimes / Shane's daughter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not really.
I thought she was awesome though.
Yeah.
When it showed her.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've only seen a little bit of this, but yeah, it was cool to see all the actors. Like, obviously, they jumped a few years. It was cool to see Eugene like actually killing walkers and stuff now. Like, it was actually stuff, and just how everyone sort of changed a little bit.
Yeah, Eugene was
okay, so Walking Dead is what's the overview? Is
basically about zombies?
Yeah,
zombie apocalypse and people surviving, but it starts off as the beginning of the spread of that, and then now sort of people are surviving, but now it's so far into it, people are trying to rebuild humanity, like trying to make communities or whatever, really.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's it kind of does get to the point where it's less zombies, it's more about the humans, but that's, I guess, understandable. You're probably not going to really relate to a zombie moaning and walking around and like, oh yeah, this is really engaging, a zombie moaning and.
Actually, that's the blokes I see at work every day.
Yeah, so you're probably just seeing The Walking Dead all the time.
Yeah.
Go to a shopping centre and just see all people just walking around. That's The Walking Dead. Most of the time you wonder if they actually know what they're doing, because it doesn't look like they have a purpose, really.
I was out getting dinner for us the other night. It's been a really big day for us, so go get dinner. And anyway, I was waiting. I'd ordered a pizza, so I went a couple of doors up to Red Rooster. And anyway, these two guys walk in there, and I just couldn't believe how freaking big they were, physical size in terms of overweight. And bellies hanging right over there. And they come out of Red Rooster, and one guy says to the other one, "Oh, we got to go get your chocolate." And I thought, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't have fried chicken without chocolate.
Yeah.
You got to have.
I just maybe it was for later, but it's just the way. Just these two guys, like they're the sort of guys you'd see at one of those belly flopping contests,
Yeah.
That's what, just. Oh,
It almost sounds like a skit from a comedy. Is that they go in, they get a couple of big bags of Red Rooster, and it's like, oh, don't forget to get. We got to go get your chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say, oh, you saw him in the pizza shop as well, picking up a family meal.
I'm just like a lot of people. I'm a bit judgmental at times, and you look at people and you think, "Oh my God, how could you let yourself go?" But there's situations that people are in that
because they watch Frozen too much. Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, because I've let it go a bit, but I guess I've had some health issues and stuff, which I guess technically is an excuse, but just trying to get on top of it before it gets too out of hand. And
I mean, we all go a bit crazy sometimes, but I mean, this is just crazy. Like I don't know how people can do it, and obviously I'm not in that mindset. It has implications to your health and well-being. There's a reason why things have a safe working load, because anything over that safe working load, right, is under more stress and prone to failure. We're the same. Our bodies, right, can only take a certain amount of weight, and then things start going wrong. It multiplies.
Yeah, so it's like, what point do you get to when you start getting aches, pains, and your organs or parts of your body isn't working properly? What point do you get to when you say, it's time to start, doing something about fixing those issues? But yeah, just unfortunately, I guess it goes back to the Walking Dead. You don't have to look like anorexic and like you haven't ate. You can just be. No, and I'm sure when we've all been depressed or gone through stuff, sometimes you just on autopilot. You just feel like you're not quite living. But yeah,
well,
sometimes you've got to snap out of it.
Yeah, when I was at home for 3.5 months with my broken ankle, I was sitting on my ass.
Yeah,
a lot. We had more takeaways than usual. That's for sure. But and I probably put on some weight, but I didn't go overboard. Yeah.
But don't eat super dupers.
Don't. Oh Jesus! I've got the hiccups now.
Fucking love super dupers, man.
I do eat super dupers.
I haven't had a super duper in probably 3 years.
Yeah, right.
I bought them out of that Audi the other day, and I bought a pack, and I'm like, I fucking love these things.
Isn't that the Joker's favourite snack? As he said, "Oh, do you want to know how I got these scars?" It used to be from me to them, and having the sharp corners on the.
I love it.
You love it?
I love Sunny Boys too, but I don't know if we can get them anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in ages.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
I think so.
Are they the ones that are in the cardboard sort of cup?
Yeah.
No, they were the triangular. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triangular. Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. That's what they used to sell at school tuck shops all the time,
I haven't seen them in probably 20 years.
Been a while.
Yeah.
So what else has been happening, Mick?
I want another Super Duper. They're like really fucking addictive.
I thought you'd be having those
What?
the Alco Pops. Weren't you
Fuck
having
are
them? Don't you have
What are
those?
they? What are they? I don't know what they are.
Ice water with alcohol.
Oh, don't tell me about that. I'll investigate.
Don't they have them? Alco Pops? Or something?
Ask Robin.
Oh, why? I don't know why I don't know why we keep talking about him.
But he said alcohol.
About who?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's like hiring the hooker and having a cuddle, remember?
That's what you do, isn't it, Mick?
Hire hookers and have cuddles. No way.
Sometimes you gotta just have a cuddle, you know. Good old hard cuddle.
No way. I'm a all insider person. How come this stream's gone? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
The
geez,
dead
Mick.
one side.
Come on, get your act together.
No. Fuck that. I'm having another one because I don't care.
Have another one. Have another one.
I don't fucking care.
Oh, nobody cares.
Oh.
Nobody cares.
What?
Nobody knows.
What's this one?
Okay.
What the fuck? What happened then? Are you in trouble? Marked in the shit.
No. You're crazy. Oh,
Black currant.
SD, standard
SD?
definition. Yeah, SD, standard definition.
Sexual disease.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's the one that he's saying.
I think I better change it back to what it should be. There we go. We'll have to put a background photo up.
Yeah.
When am I what? Going to be monetized?
No.
Probably never.
No, wait till we get to the 100th episode.
Oh, the 100th. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking shit. Anyway, so
He's going to need a pack of hot chips.
I know, right? I
haven't got any chips.
No, I do.
Oh.
You know what's really nice? I went to Aldi the other day, and I got these. You know the chips, the crinkly ones, and not the Black Rock ones. And these are new, and I had them last time, and they were really nice, so I bought them again. They're salt and pepper. They got pepper in them, and they're fucking choice. It's just simple salt and pepper, but salt and pepper chips. And it's like, wow, I've never had these before, and I really liked them.
What do you normally cook in your air fryer, Mick?
Everything.
Everything.
Super dupers and
Yeah, I melt the cunts. No,
he leaves the plastic in there.
There's just no hope for you.
I cook pork, like roast pork. I love my roast pork. I cooked the roast chicken the other day because mine's got a. See, this is my air fryer is awesome. It's an oven. So I've got a rotisserie thing in it. So, but that's I have to clean it. But I put that in there now because it saves me from cleaning it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see? So chicken. I've got different shelves. So do them. See?
Yep.
Yeah. So you could cook a lot in that. You fit heaps in there. Chips, chicken, pork. I even put steak in there. And I'll tell you what, a cooked steak, perfect, man. I like my steak medium rare, and cooks are perfect.
Yep.
Mhm.
What else? What else does it do? What else does it do perfectly?
You fellatio if you pay for the right accessory.
Yes.
Pickles.
It's a dehydrator as well.
Yeah.
So I can make. I haven't done it yet, but I can make beef jerky if I want.
Right. Yeah. I was just gonna. Can't you just not do that in the air fryer anyway, and just cook it for longer than it should?
I don't think so. I don't know. It's got a function on there for dehydrating anyway, so here's espresso. So yeah.
All right. Well, I reckon that's enough for tonight for this live stream. We'll wrap it up and
I'll catch both of you plunkers later.
Yeah. Well, just stand by and I'll
Look at your names.
What's my name?
We have Plunker and Plunker 2. I changed it before and I was just like, wait.
Yeah.
But anyway.
See, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow, so I'm going to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to go and have a phone call with Robbo. We're going to go TikTok live.
Cool.
You probably will.
Look, if he wants to do that, that's his prerogative. Thanks, everyone, for joining in tonight. Becky, G, Mick on screen, Roger the Pirate, and whoever else I've forgotten to mention.
Man.
And I'll play our little exit that we like to play.
You're an exit.
Well, folks, it's time to call a night. Do what you're feeling. Keep both feet on the wheel. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So till next time, move 'em on. Hit 'em up.